Let's review some of the parts I'm going to be installing today. Here we have some carbon bars from RSL XL and some micro new road shifters. I have some bar tape and some brake cables, and lastly shifter cables that came with the shifters. Let's move on to removing the cables. Snip, snip, snip. Looks like I need to go to the gym a little bit more. We'll take an Allen key and loosen up the cable fasteners. Onto the brakes. Now that all the cables are loosened, let's remove the handlebars so we can make room for the drop bars. This was my favorite part of removing the bars. It was kind of satisfying to pull the cables out. Now that we've made room for the drop bars, let's install them. At this point, we can kind of tell what the bike is going to look like with them installed. Okay, let's move on to installing the rear shifter cable. To tell you the truth, it took me a little bit to get the cable through the hole. It was a little bit difficult, but in the end I was able to do it. Here I am threading the cable to the rear derailleur. Almost there. Let's pull things tight. And tighten it down into the derailleur. Okay, now comes a moment of truth. Will the shifters work? To my surprise, with very little adjustment, the gears seem to shift perfectly okay. Let's move on to installing the brake cables. Again, with these shifters I had a hard time inserting the cables into the proper spot, but I finally got it done. Here I am routing the cable to the rear brake, getting things adjusted. I was a bit worried with these brake levers if I was going to have enough pull to stop the tire, but in the end I think things are going to work great. Here I am testing it out. Looks like it's going to work great. Let's move on to the front brakes and do the same. Now let's trim the cables and put cable ends on to prevent the cables from fraying. Let's move on to installing the bar tape. The bike is starting to come together and I think I like how it looks. Now that we're finished, let's walk around and take a look at the bike. I like the way it looks. In my next video, I will be breaking down all the parts, how much they cost, and the total cost of building this bike as it sits, with some new parts added in which are on order and should be delivered here shortly. They include new tires and a shorter bar stem. Thanks for watching.